Welcome to the Smart Money Podcast with Karen and Kevin Christ. So we want to celebrate a little bit today. This is our 100th podcast.
It is.
And we're just so happy we've been able to do this. We've had a lot of fun doing this, haven't we?
We do. We've got the radio show, and it's longer. It can tend to be more technical, but we thoroughly enjoy the podcast. They're low-key. We don't always talk about finance and retirement planning. We talk about kind of self-help things. We've talked about fear, how to overcome fear and anxiety. We've talked about some fun topics that we personally get a lot out of. If we find something that has meant something to us, the podcast is a great way for us to share it with you.
Yes, that's good, Karen. That's really, really good. And so that's fun. And you know what? Sometimes there's parts of our job that aren't fun, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about, the self-help gurus, the motivational gurus. They say, tell people what your why is. Why do you do what you do and all that, right? So, the most truthful answer is that, everybody is got to make an income unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And we picked the financial industry years ago, like back in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. And it's evolved into different things. But in this particular situation, we could say it sounds kind of trite. We just like helping people, right? But we do. We do. It gives us a lot of satisfaction to be able to see people come in with stress on their face. They're getting ready to retire. They're not sure if they have enough money to retire. They need someone to hold their hand through the process. And we do our financial plan for them that we call the retirement blueprint. And we love doing that because there's nothing better that when people come in and they're anxious and they leave with a smile on their face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
So we really do this. The primary reason we do what we do is we like leveraging our skills to help others.
That's a really good way to put it. And you know what? You've got a lot of skills. And, people recognize that in you as they see that you really know what you're talking about. You come from a position in a very nice way, not in an arrogant way or, you coming from a position of knowledge. And I think that, people look at you and you go, that gal's pretty smart, And so, I can tell when you're talking to people, the way that you're imparting your knowledge, that it's coming from the heart. It's not just coming from your head. It's coming from a position of love, mm-hmm. right? That you're wanting to do, the Christian thing, which is love. See, Jesus was love, right? And so you are always coming from a position of love. We need to impart the knowledge, but we need to impart the knowledge that is right for that person.
Yeah, it's not just about finances. Anybody can do that. It is about where are they in their life right now? What really does concern people? Where are their fears? And so to me, to be able to give them some, peace of mind, give them some common sense tools. We love the kind of the education part of what we do. We want them to understand why we are proposing the things that we're proposing, because in what we do, we are really beginning and we are engaging in long-term relationships. That is what our business truly is about. We are in long-term relationships with our clients.
They become our friends.
Oh, they have. We enjoy our clients.
We were out to dinner just last night with some clients and so yeah, we really enjoy that. We enjoy breaking bread with our clients and getting involved in their families. We went to one of our clients' retirement parties and had to, we drove over an hour, right, to go see them. We have one client that we drove to Tyler, Texas to help her pick out furniture for her new house. So we really, is that part of being a financial advisor? Not really, but I guess it can be.
But it's how we've chosen.
Yes, and then someone said to me or said to you the other day. She said you're kind of a small operation, and I thought about that. And when I first heard that, I thought it was a little bit hurtful. But in some ways, that's what makes us good, I think, because we can respond to people in a personal way. All of our clients are on our mobile phones, and that's getting harder and harder as we grow. I was just talking to you the other night. I said, I feel like I'm losing touch with some of our oldest clients, that we used to have more conversations with them. And we have to be more intentional to go over our client list and say, I haven't talked to this person for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like you walked into my office and you had me, you heard me talking to, one of our older clients and you said, hey, how you doing? You heard me and we were on speakerphone. And that is really the fun part of our job. Now, what is it that you don't like? Is there something about your job that you don't like?
Well, let's start with what I really like. I enjoy meeting people because every single person's different. They approach life different. They have different views. You're talking about couples. It's always interesting to watch the interactions, the dynamics between couples, because we need to know that.
We do.
When we are talking about financial and retirement plans, because we got two people that we need to get on the same path, and they're going to be looking at it, approaching it differently. And so that is my absolute favorite part of the job. I really enjoy doing the taxes and retirement seminars. I love engaging a classroom full of people. So that is a fun part of my job. Of course, I love just chatting, finding out what's going on with our clients' lives, because we often will find out when the first grandchild is being born. We know a lot about our clients' personal lives, not just, what's their retirement
much money
plan.
they have, right?
You're right. That's my favorite part of the job. So it was funny. You asked me, what do you dislike the most? And the first thing that popped into my head, I really dislike people who make appointments and no-show me. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm like, if I
that really riles you.
It really does.
Because you have to put makeup on.
That's exactly it. If I'm going to do my hair and I'm going to put makeup on and I'm going to pay attention to the jewelry I'm wearing and the clothes I picked for that day, and then I'm going to prepare for the meeting, I'm putting together documents. There's work that we do before you just show up.
And you know what?
When somebody does a no-show,
your time.
My time is precious with the amount of stuff that I'm doing. So, we love you. We love to see you. But if you pull a no-show on me, you don't get a second chance. You're just going to have to see Kevin.
Yeah. she said that before too. She goes, "I'm not doing this again. You go see what's going on." But sometimes people just forget and they're super apologetic, and sometimes those appointments are actually really, really good appointments because the people are nice people. They just forgot.
Yes, I know.
But I'm with you on that. It's just the time. Time is someone. My grandfather told me one time. He said, "Nobody is thinking good things about you when you're late."
That's actually true. That's
so
actually true.
You have an appointment, say at 10 o'clock, and you show up at 10:15. What is that person thinking about you?
Right. Well, what do you enjoy most? Why do you do this?
You know me. I mean, I've never met a stranger.
Mr. Personality.
Well, I've
yeah,
never met a stranger. My mother. I grew up when I was 2-3 years old. We lived in Queens in New York City. And, these playgrounds, they're basically fenced in asphalt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to have a key from your apartment to get into these playgrounds, right? And she said, I thought that you might, be involved with in sales or some kind
people-oriented.
some people-oriented. She said, because I think you were 2.5 years old and I opened the lock to the playground and you ran in and said, "Hi, guys, I'm here."
and not much has changed.
Yeah, so I just really love meeting people. I think one of my strengths is finding common ground very, very quickly. where they're from or what their hobbies are, or it just, I don't know. God just blessed me with the ability to find common ground with somebody, and I truly enjoy the conversations that evolve from that. I like the first 15 minutes of an appointment because it's not, I don't like to just get in and say, well, okay, what's in your 401k and how are we going to roll it over, right?
Yeah,
I really, that's the boring part, really, kind of. The interesting part is getting to know the people. And that is the part that I really enjoy. The part that I really, really disdain is we probably spend a third of our life on hold with insurance companies and brokerage houses. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's this statement: our hold time is longer than usual.
Oh no, mine is, your call is important to us,
but
yeah,
our hold times are longer than usual. 51. Yeah, there are 9 callers in front of you. Estimated time 25 minutes.
Thank goodness for Liz, because she's got the patience of a saint.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
she has to take most of that. But I like listening to people. Again, that first 10 to 15 minutes is real critical, because we don't know how we can help you until we find out who you are, what your goals are, what things do you want to accomplish, what do you want your retirement to look like, and then what are your concerns, what are your fears, what do you think you're doing well, what do you think you're not doing well. Without having that conversation, we don't know where we're headed and how we can help you.
I was carrying this, a really good saying that I can't remember if I read it in a book. I think I read it in a book, or I was in some kind of training class or something. And this is, to me, and when I used to do sales training, I used to tell people this, and it's so true. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yes, very good.
Right, and so people know that. So, well, anyway, Karen, congratulations
on
your 100th podcast. It's been a blast, and I can't wait to do 100 more with you. So God bless all of you. Thanks for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you and your families, and we'll be back next week.
You've been listening to the KPC Smart Money Podcast with Kevin and Karen Christ. To listen to more episodes, visit kpcsmartmoney.com. You can also find the KPC Smart Money Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher.
KPC Financial Solutions is an independent financial services firm that utilizes a variety of investment and insurance products. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through KPC Financial Solutions, LLC, a registered investment company. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any reference to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. KPC Financial Solutions is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by KPC Financial Solutions. Hypothetical examples have been provided for illustrative purposes only. It does not represent a real-life scenario and should not be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation.